Hey guys, welcome back to my brand new video. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter 4 of, again, history and civics. History. So I'm using total history book of class 10 ICSC and of the latest syllabus 2024 and of Morning Star. Okay. So we're gonna be doing second phase of the Indian national movement, as you already saw on the thumbnail. It was a chapter 4, and yeah. So the scheme of the partition of Bengal was implemented on October 16, 1905. So basically, they are talking about the partition of Bengal, okay, which was already planned. Okay, implemented means, in other words, planned on October 16, 1905. So the causes of the partition of Bengal were too many. The first thing is Bengal was nerve center of Indian nationalism at that time. So Bengal united is a power. Bengal divided will pull in several different. Well, this was said by Home Secretary to the government. Ways, one of our main objective is to split up and thereby to weaken a solid body of the opponent to our rule. Then the partition of the state was intended to curb Bengali influence by not only placing Bengalis under two administration, but by reducing them to a minority in Bengal itself. Then the partition was meant to foster division on the basis of the religion. East Bengal would be predominantly a Muslim majority state, and West Bengal would have a Hindu majority. So therefore, the Indian nationalists clearly saw the design behind the partition and condemned it. They saw that it was a deliberate attempt to divide Bengalis on religious and territorial grounds, and thereby disrupt and weaken nationalism in Bengal. They felt that the administrative efficiency could have been better secured by separating Hindu speaking Bihar and the Odia speaking Odisha from the Bengali speaking part of province. Moreover, the manner in which the announcement of the partition was made without any regard for the public opinion hurt the sentiments of the sensitive Bengalis. So here what happened is the Indian nationalists who were there, they actually understood the plan behind the basically design behind the partition of the Bengal and also went and basically condemned it. So they saw that it was a deliberate attempt to divide the Bengalis on religious and territorial grounds. So what happened is the British people were trying to divide the Bengalis on many divisions on religious and territorial grounds. So therefore, disrupt and weaken nationalism in Bengal. So disrupt means to basically like you know to you know to put on hold something, to not let it happen, and yeah, and weaken nationalism in Bengal. They felt that the administrative efficiency could have been better secured by separating Hindu speaking Bihar, the Odia speaking Odisha from Bengali speaking part of province. And the other, yes. Then what else we have? Then we have the Surat split. Okay, before this, yeah, Surat split. What was in the 1907? We'll just go through it. The assertive nationalists wanted to extend the Swadeshi and the boycott to the rest of India and make it a vehicle for full-fledged political mass struggle leading to the Swaraj. The early nationalists, however, did not approve it for the whole of India and wanted it to be confined to Bengal only. The early nationalists did not want to extend open support to boycott, which was in a conflict with their policy of petition and persuasion. So here what happened is the assertive nationalists, what they wanted is to take down with who are the Swaraj completely, like fully fledged political, as I say, as it's written. So they wanted to extend the Swadeshi and boycott. So Swadeshi means that we the Indians were not supposed to use the other countries Swadeshi. So we have to use only our country's products and not others. And boycott means to something to ban. You can say, yeah, other words. And the early nationalists did not want to extend open support to boycott, which was in conflict with their policy of petition and persuasion. So, early nationalists, on the other hand, did not want to extend open support on boycotting, whereas assertive nationalists wanted to extend this Swadeshi boycott, but early nationalists were just the opposite. They were going against each other. So it was kind of a, reflect again between those two. So conflict with their policy of petition and persuasion. The early nationalists and the assertive nationalists sank their differences and passed a resolution at Calcutta session in 1906 condemning the partition of Bengal. The dispute between the two wings of the Congress on issue of the Swadeshi Swaraj and the national education was not resolved. So there was also a disagreement over the candidature candidature of the next president. Finally, Dadabhai Naoroji, who was respected by both the groups, became the president in 1906. So basically, what happened is the early nationalists and the assertive nationalists sank their differences and passed a resolution at Calcutta session in 1906. So this means that, as it says, early nationalists what were there? They actually were totally different from each other. Yeah, they had different thoughts from each other. So what they did is they made a resolution, okay, at Calcutta in 1906, condemning the partition of Bengal. That they would do the partition. Uh, so they condemned. It's blocked, or they said no to the partition of Bengal, and a dispute between the two wings of the Congress on the issue of Swadeshi Swaraj and the national education was not resolved. So, as you're thinking, what is Swadeshi Swaraj and national education? It's all the methods of the assertive nationalists, which you will learn further. So, yeah, they were not resolved. They kept, yeah. Finally, Dadabhai Naoroji, who was respected by both the groups, became the president in 1906. Dadabhai Naoroji was a early nationalist, but well, now both are okay with it. In simple words, both are okay. The assertive and the early nationalists are both okay with the Dadabhai Naoroji, an early nationalist, becoming a president in 1906. So it was declared yes by both of them. In 1906 session, Dadabhai declared the Swaraj or self-government as it's existent in the Canada and Australia would be a goal of Indians. Okay. And Swadeshi and boycott movements will have the support of the Congress. And here also we have the same thing. We talk about that. Then the Surat split was weakened the national movement. So the early nationalists, however, were largely able to capture the Congress organization, and in Allahabad convention held in April 1908, the split was formalized. Then we go to the next page. Here we need to know the three people. Guess who's these three guys? So these people are the assertive nationalists. They are also known as Lal Bal Pal. They are also known as uh, Trio, Lal Bal Pal Trio, and they are also known as by their names Lala Rajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Bipin Chandra Pal. Right. Now we go to the next page, which is all about, as I said before, the main objective of the early nationalists. So the main objective of the early assertive nationalists was immediate attained of Swaraj. This means complete independence and not just self-government, as in the colonies of Australia, New Zealand, and etc. Okay, no, etc. Methods of assertive nationalists. So, Swadeshi, boycott, national education, and passive resistance. These four are important. You have to remember this very carefully, and just very small, just one or two lines, like definition or just belief in that. So just remember that and nothing much. And we go to the next page where we have the comparison between the early nationalists and the assertive nationalists. The early nationalists, they wanted to achieve self-government and they strove for autonomy within the empire and not for absolute independence. They aimed at nothing short of Swaraj as it existed in United Kingdom. They believed in constitutional methods and worked within the framework of the law. They were assertive in their approach. They held good positions under the British government. They denounced British rule and defined it. So there are so many like this. You have to read any five, like, minimum, right? So you can choose anything you want, right? You can choose from first five from the bottom or from the top, anything you want. Then we'll go down. This all comes under the passive resistance, all three: revivalism, personal sacrifices, and mass involvement. Important, just go through it. We'll also go through it. So Tilak revived the Shivaji festival in 1895. Chandragupta Vikramaditya, Rana Pratap, and Shivaji as national heroes whose memory could inspire the masses to fight for their country, India. Right. Nice. Okay. Then personal sacrifices were all about self-reliance and self-sacrifice, suffering and hardship to achieve their goal. Mass involvement, strength of the masses, and proposed to win the freedom through mass action. They aroused the masses of by influencing them with sacrifices and suffering. Right, perfect. And the repressive measure of the government 1908, Tilak was tried to sentence to 6 years of imprisonment. He sent he was sent to the Mandalay prison in Myanmar, Burma. So other leaders like Lala Rajpat Rai was deported to the Burma without trial. Then we have leaders of the assertive nationalists. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, 1958 to 1920. Nationalism. So Bal Gangadhar Tilak is also known as the father of the assertive nationalism. Okay, so Tilak was born in Maharashtra. He is also known as Lok Manya Tilak. Okay, Lok Manya Tilak. Right. So Deccan Education Society was founded by him. Okay, under the Justice of Ranade, under Justice Ranade guidance in 1884. Gokhale and Tilak were its members. Gopal Krishna Gokhale, who was a early nationalist, and Tilak is the assertive nationalist. Member of assertive nationalists and leaders. So the society set up many educational institutions, including the famous Ferguson's College at Pune. His contribution was demand for Swaraj, preached nationalism, and establishment of HRL, Home Rule League. So demand for Swaraj, basically Bal Gangadhar Tilak demanded. And that's what it is that about for Swaraj. Then preached nationalism, important. We have a lot of points over here. 1893, Tilak started using traditional religious Ganapati festival to propagate nationalist ideas through songs and speeches. In 1895, he glorified Chhatrapati Shivaji and started the Shivaji festival to encourage young Maharashtrians. He started two newspapers, Maratha, English, Kesari, Marathi, which soon became the mouthpieces of his ideas. Through these newspapers, he preached nationalism and taught the people to courageous to be courageous and self-reliant. He wrote two well-known books, Gita Rahasya and the Arctic Home of Vedas. Important. As I said, there are a lot of points you have to remember that. So established home rule league. What is home rule league? Home rule league is where you don't have a government, but it's your own government, as in other words, self-government, where you make your own self-government at your league. So Tilak set up home rule league at Pune in 1916 at Pune to attain self-government within the British Empire by constitutional means. He was also known as the forerunner of Gandhi Ji, Mahatma Gandhi. Important, guys, very important. Now, next thing, Bipin Chandrapal. Who is this? He's the father of the revolutionary thought in India. So he was born in Sylhet, Sylhet, now a part of Bangladesh, before it was in India. And Bipin Chandrapal, he was born in 1858. Bipin Chandrapal is also known as the father of the revolutionary thought of India. He started his political career as a social reformer attached to Brahmo Samaj. Now tell me, guys, who created the Brahmo Samaj? I'll give you 3 seconds. Right. It was correct. It was the Raja Ram Mohan Roy. And what was which Samaj did Jyotiba Phule create? Anyone? Correct. Satya Shodhak Samaj. Good guess. So in 1886, he joined the Indian National Congress. Who? Bipin Chandra Pal. So his contribution now, he worked as a journalist. Okay. So he worked as a national education. Okay. And social and economic reforms. So role as journalist. So journalist, he worked for Bengal Public Opinion, the Tribune, the New India to propagate his brand of nationalism. British government found his writings sedition, seditious. Further, he was required to give testimony against Aurobindo Ghosh, which he refused. On his refusal, he was arrested and sentenced to 6 months imprisonment. National education. Before that, guys, reading all this, I'm getting one thing to my mind. About this, there is a crime podcast where you can listen whenever you're free. It's interesting and very catchy for the small children. It's actually fun and you can understand. You can also try to solve the crime. It's all about suspense. It's all about a detective named as Bhaskar Bose. I know so many people have heard it, but whoever did not, just go through it. I'll show you it right now. Three, two, one. So, guys, this is the broadcast. Bhaskar Bose. You have two Bhaskar Bose and one more Bhaskar Bose in a perfect world. This is done by Mantra. He is a film director, so you can just go through his podcast, and he is the owner of Eminem Talkies, where he creates a lot of podcasts and the best means of thinking. You know, it's just the best. I always listen to this, and yeah, and so yeah, we'll continue with our chapter. Sorry for going back in the other track. So, like national education, Bipin Chandrapal wanted national education to be the basis of the freedom movement. It would arouse nationalist passions and become an effective instrument of social progress. So he opposed the caste system and other rigid rules concerning interdining and intermixing. He advocated widow remarriage, educating women. He believed uh, was the most effective way of elevating their position. So yeah, this was about him and many more. We have he established equality in society, tax the rich more heavily than the poor. So, so just go through it. You need to remember all three fully points. Yeah, all three contribution. Then we have Lala Rajpat Rai. So Lal Bal Pal. So He's Lala Rajpat Rai. So Lala, he is known as the Punjab Kesari and Sheri Punjab Sheri Punjab because no because he was an immense lawyer and prolific writer, enlightened educator, and social reformer and staunch light fighter against the British. He was born at Durike Jagrin in Jagron in Punjab. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce. Sorry. Okay. So his contribution, he was an educationist and forceful writer. He was a prolific writer. Then he started a monthly magazine, Young India, to spread the message of the right of India to attain Swaraj. Now, his publications included The Call of Young India, England's Debt to India, and the Political Future of India. Lala Rajpat Rai founded Punjabi Vande Matram, Urdu Daily, People English Weekly. He also wrote book National Education called for reform of the prevalent educational system. The social reformer, he was a social reformer and a political work outside India, guys. So Lala Lajpat Rai was associated with the Arya Samaj movement and he was instrumental in the expansion of the DAV college at Lahore. In 1886, he opened orphanages, hospitals, and schools. He set up and servants of the People's Society for welfare of the downtrodden and outcasts. So political worker. So in 1914 he joined the Ghadar party there in America, where he went when he went. Through his writings in Young India, he preached assertive nationalism, inspired the young Indian youths, kindled the fire of patriotism in them. So he's come to his injured injuries a month later on November 17, 1928, guys. So he died. He died. Sad. So now next page. Okay, yeah, we're done with the chapter, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something fun about this. And well, not here to criticize someone again. Just if you like the video, just please like, please subscribe. It's almost 12 right now. Not almost, it's already 12:16 as you can see. I can just show you guys right now. So look at this, guys. See, guys, it's 12:17. So yeah. So yeah, guys, I guess not to waste your time, but I'm also kinda trying to help you guys. So yeah, please subscribe. That will be a big favor for me. And please do like, share this video, and do whatever you feel like. Just press everything, guys. So all for you guys. So I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, take care, everyone. Stay safe, and I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, take care, everyone. Peace out.